Hi, everybody. Hi. So I'm just gonna wait to see if a couple people come on, or I'll just start and then we'll just see where the chips fall. So anyway, I'm recording this live on Facebook, but I'm also planning to upload this on YouTube. So if you are watching this on YouTube, hi, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and make sure that you also hit the notification bell, because when I do shit like this, some random lives and that I'm uploading just in the middle of the day just because, then you won't miss out. So anyway, hi everybody. I felt called to share some stuff that's been coming up, and here we go. I wanted to talk to you guys about what you need to know if you are getting readings from a psychic. Now, someone may not call themselves a psychic. They may call themselves intuitive. They may call themselves a spiritualist. They may call themselves a shaman or a healer. They may be a medium. They may be a channeler. So I use psychic because that tends to be a pretty common word that is used by people who often get readings but may not necessarily be familiar with the goings on, or what all of the things and all the magic, all that stuff that happens back there, so to speak. You may not be in that industry, so more than likely you're calling this person a medium or a psychic. But like I said, there are different names that people who provide readings for others go by. So a reading is typically it could be someone who's reading tarot cards, could be reading oracle cards, could be using a pendulum, could be throwing bones, could be throwing charms. They could be someone who is actually channeling a message from a spirit that's passed over, someone from your family, an ancestor. They could be someone who reads your energy, can tap into your body and tell you, like a medical channel or a medical medium type of person. There are all sorts of ways that people who have the ability can do readings for you. And because for some of you, it's fairly new to get readings from people. I wanted to talk to you guys about it because I know that there's just so much that's been happening. People are very sensitive, addictions are high, depression is high, people's nervous systems are just completely out of whack. What else? People are losing jobs, they're leaving jobs, and there's just so much in the world that we're experiencing where we're just constantly being shocked with different news, different variants, and other things, just trying to figure out how to exist and survive in the environment that we find ourselves these days. So people have questions. They need confirmation. They're looking to be heard. They're looking to be seen. They're looking for support. They want to know what they need to know that they don't know. Like, what's the next step? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to do that? And there are a lot of people who are just discovering their own abilities, because we all have the abilities. It's just a matter of how open are you to receiving messages? Like, how sensitive are you? How are you able to discern? How are you able to discern like what the message is versus what you're telling yourself that you're supposed to tell other people? Like, it's a skill. And there is work that's involved to be able to be sensitive enough and to really tap into your own intuition through different types of abilities, whether you're clairvoyant, meaning that you see things, clairaudient, meaning that you hear things, clairsentient, which means that you feel things, and there are a bunch of different clair abilities. So those are the three main ones that I like to talk about because I have all three. But I didn't know that that's what I had. So anyway, there are new people who are out there who are just getting on TikTok. They're getting on Instagram Live. They're doing Facebook Lives where they're like, I will pull cards for you. I will do pendulums, use my pendulum for you. I will do all these things. And they're new and don't know what they're doing, and possibly exposing you to things that you're not aware of. So that's why I wanted to do the video with you guys. So first things first, whether you're new to getting readings, you've been getting readings for a while here and there, or you get readings a lot, you're in circles of people who give readings so you get them all the time, doesn't matter. there are still things that you need to know. And the first thing I always tell people is that the buck stops and ends with you. You are the gatekeeper to yourself. You have so much more power than you could ever imagine that you do. And how that shows up in a reading is by you being the person to discern what is for you and what is not for you. So someone who gives readings that understands this and has studied and has practiced, they will tell you up front, like, whatever they're giving you, whatever message they give you, you take what it is that resonates with you and then you leave the rest. And they're saying that because they understand that some things may not be for you at all. Some things may not be for you right now. Some things you may not take a certain path to even have happen. So, and because you're sovereign. So from that moment when somebody's giving you a reading, like, what they're telling you could very well be true, 100% true, but you still leave after that and you make certain decisions or you do certain things that take you farther away from this guidance or this thing that this person said you were going to experience. So it's not that they're wrong. It's just you did something else and you moved away from what was going to happen and now you're someplace else. So you get to discern, though, and that's your job. So when you are getting a reading from someone and they're telling you something that you feel in your body, like you might feel a warmth, you might feel like a blooming, you might feel like that feels right, or they're telling you something that is actually happening in your life, you're like, oh my God, this person is so good, then that's for you. If they tell you something and it's like, I'm not really, it doesn't really feel right, you're not wrong in saying that doesn't feel right, because it's just not for you, or it's not for you right now. So someone who does this often will be able to say, okay, if you want to tell them, no, that doesn't feel right, they're not so attached to what it is that they're telling you. So they're not going to get their feelings hurt. They're not going to argue you down about, well, you're wrong because it is for you. You know, they're not so, it feels different when someone knows what they're doing and they understand what they're supposed to be doing. So, you know, beware of working with someone who, when you're not feeling that that part of a message is not for you, or the entire message is not for you, and you tell them that, and they're just, you know, they're very upset or angry or telling you don't know what you're talking about or whatever, then they're definitely not for you to continue to work with ever, because that's not how that's supposed to go. The other thing is that when you decide to allow somebody to give you a reading, you're basically inviting them into your energy space. You're inviting them. So I don't know, I'm about to date myself. What is it? The Lost Boys, when the guy was the vampire and he's just like, you can't, and when the minute you invite a vampire into your house, like, they have free reign to do whatever the hell that they want. But if you don't invite them in, then you're safe. That's how old I am. So anyway, so it's the same thing for someone who is giving readings. If they are skilled enough, they are not going to tap into your energy. They're not going to tell you certain things unless you invite them to do so. So the minute that you say, I have a question, or I'm going to hire you to do a reading for me, you are in essence giving them permission to tap into your energy and give you a reading, hear the messages, be the channel, whatever it is that they're doing. And anybody who's new that doesn't ask for consent or doesn't ask for permission first, or is not being, or that does this when you didn't invite them, you don't need to be working with them, because they don't understand how this is supposed to work. Like, it's dangerous to just be reading for people that don't give you consent to tap into their energies. Not only is it dangerous, but it's out of integrity. So you got to be careful working with people, again, that don't know what they're doing, not because they are intentionally trying to be harmful, but because there are things that happen when you're giving readings that they may not be aware of, and they could be inviting in problems for you and for themselves. So integrity is important in this industry, and honesty is important, and also protection is very important. So when you invite someone in, You may not know who they are, what they do they study, have they done their own internal work to be able to do the work that they're doing, have they done what kind of rituals that they do ahead of time to protect the space, to make sure that they're giving the right messages to people, that they're protecting themselves and you're entrusting them to know what they're doing, to make sure that everyone is safe that they're giving a message to. You're basically telling them that I'm trusting you implicitly with me. I am trusting you implicitly with my energy. I'm entrusting you implicitly to root around and learn, hey, Jessica, learn about me, or to hear messages, personal messages, get sensitive information, to be all up in my business. You are entrusting these individuals to do that. So you really, really, really have to make sure, as much as you possibly can, that the person that you're asking to do your healing work, or to be your spiritualist, or to give you a reading, is someone that you have a general idea that you can trust. And the way that you do that is that you watch. You watch them. I don't care how popular they are. I don't care how many followers they have. I don't care how long they've been doing this. I don't care what their YouTube channel subscriber numbers are. I don't care what the hell that they're doing. Doesn't matter. Everybody isn't for you. So it is your job, because again, you are the front line of defense for yourself. It's your job to make sure that when you are entrusting someone with you, you're inviting them into your energy, and you're entrusting them to provide you with the messages that you're meant to have. It's your job to do your due diligence. So follow the person, watch them, if they're doing lives and they go live, just watch what they're doing. You can get readings. I've seen people get readings, of course, from a live like this, a live stream. There could be a post that says, I'm giving readings. Just write your question in the comment and I'll read who I'm called to. See those all the time. There are small group readings that people do on Zoom. There are personal readings that people give via a report like that's written, or they can do an audio reading, or do one via Zoom. Whatever it is, if you're able to, watch what it is that they do, so that you can tap into your own energy and say, how am I feeling about this person? And trust, if something about them doesn't feel right to you, no matter, again, how popular they are, cheap, whatever, then they're not for you to give you a reading. Don't even ask them a question. Some of these people are very entertaining. I like to watch them and watch people get cussed out, watch people get these messages. But I know, because I trust myself, that this person is not meant for me. They ain't meant to be dancing in my energy space. So I'll watch, eat my popcorn, drink my little juice, and laugh because they're funny or whatever. But in my spirit, I know that they are not someone who is supposed to be giving me a message. So I don't entertain it. I used to be in this one group where it was like a bunch of different people in there who had all kinds of abilities that would be practicing on one day a week. And there were some new people that I would see, and I'm like, oh wow, they seem really nice, really soft spoken, or just had a really good energy about them. And they'd be waiting for people to come into their live to ask them a question, or to give them a reading, or to do some energy work on them. And I would just say, hey, I'm just popping by to support, keep showing up, keep being visible, just to be encouraging. But my spirit is like, they're not to do work for you. They're not to read you. They're not to give them access to your energy. Like, I could feel that. And so I would honor that. So trust in yourself that if there is something about someone, no matter what their numbers are, no matter how accurate they have been, I don't care if they've read millions of people, if something about them to you does not feel right, then trust that, because they are not right to do a reading for you. But there are millions of them out there. So don't feel like, well, this popular one, I got to get this person to do it because no one else can do it. There's millions of them out there. They're all over the place. Swipe around on Tarot Talk. You'll find hundreds of thousands of them if you got time. They're around. So everybody that went to Dollar Tree or Dollar General and bought themselves a new tarot deck is out here giving these readings, yes, no cards, and all sorts of stuff that you see all over the place. That they are not all for you. They're not. So trust your own energy, trust your own self. Patrice! Oh my gosh! Hi! I've missed you so much. All right, I'm gonna focus, but I'm gonna message you because we still need to connect. I know we said we were gonna do that for 2022, and it is now then. So, we will definitely have to get in touch. So anyway, yeah, they're out here. Plenty of people out here. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. You already know like who is for you and who isn't for you. And when you come into the room, any room, and you're just like, even though this person seems nice, it's like something about them ain't right. Something in the milk ain't clean. That's all you need to know. The other thing that I like to do is that if there's somebody that I'm considering allowing to read for me, not only do I watch them, but I watch the kind of advice that they give or what their messages are. I watch how they deliver their messages, because they could be accurate, but maybe their delivery just doesn't bode well for how I would be able to receive a message. I have this one lady that I know who's super cool. She cusses her people out. Like, ain't everybody's a bitch. They get cussed out, literally cussed out. And I'm like, oh no, pass the popcorn is so entertaining. But I also don't knock her style, because there are plenty of people who are like, when I hear like the stories and the questions that some of the folks that come to her are asking, they are going through some complicated situations. Like, the stuff is wild, what they come to her with, how they come to her. And so the way that she gives them messages, the way that she delivers, it's her way of cutting through all the bullshit so that they can hear what it is that she needs to tell them, so they can work through all that stuff. Like, so I know that if I was to get a reading from her, she is very accurate, always on point, but her delivery would not, I wouldn't receive it well. So I know that to ask her for a reading, probably not the move. She's amazing. There are some people who, you're doing air, they got the fairies, they got the little angel cards, and I'm like, not really vibing with me. not really vibing with me. So I don't do it. But in watching people's responses and how they respond back, like, I really like the ones where somebody says, like, puts a post up, I'm going to give a reading, ask a question, and I'll come back and pick whoever I want to give a reading to, or something like that. And they will write whatever the reading is. I always like to see what the response is from the people who get them. So if I see a lot of thank you, thank you, thank you, if I see a lot of those, then I'm like, I wonder why it was just thank you. Because people that get readings, it's a confirmation that they needed, an answer that they needed. They needed, hey Anna, they needed some sort of cues or clues to what they need to do next. When it is like so helpful to them, people are like, oh my God, where can I find Tarot Talk? That's on TikTok. Just look up the hashtag Tarot Talk. They're all there. Sometimes they go live. You'll find them. So anyway, but hi there. Thanks for being here. What was I saying? Oh yeah, if it's a lot of thank yous, then I'm like, oh, they must not be accurate, or they're not really giving the responses that a number of people are really vibing with. So it's not just one thank you, it's a number of thank yous. But if there are a lot of people in there like, oh, thank you so much, that was the information that I needed, you hit it dead on because I was going crazy. When you feel like somebody does a good job for you, like, you want to shout it from the rooftops, especially in the comments. So if they do that, if I see a lot more of those, like, this is so on the money, this is so on point, then I'm like, oh, I'll consider it. I will consider letting them read for me. But you, again, just make sure that you are just not going to any person who happens to press live and shows up with a box of cards they got from the Dollar Tree and is giving readings. Like, not to say that just because they're new or the cards are not expensive or any other things like that, like, that they're not going to do a good job for you. No, not saying that at all. I was new at some point. There are some people on here that do that work and were new at some point, just getting started in their own spiritual journey to be able to do the stuff that they do now. So yeah, there are mistakes that we make, but it's your job to protect yourself. And these are ways that you can do that. Another thing I like to do is I like to look at people's profile. So if there's somebody that I'm interested in working with, perhaps I'll look at their profile, because it will give me a general idea of what their process is like. I want to know that the people who are doing readings for me are doing the work. What's the work look like? The work looks like they could be avid meditators. They could have their own rituals that they do. I want to see that they know that they have to clear their energy prior to doing readings and after they do readings. I want to know that they are protecting themselves and their energy and their home or space where they do this. I see bells sometimes. I might see incense. I might see, certain rose water or Florida water, or I see Palo Santo or frankincense, which are all things that people do to clear energy. I can see when they do things around the moon, or it gives me an idea about what their regular practice is in order to be able to do this work. So if I'm seeing that they have a practice, it shows me that they understand the power and the privilege that they have to be able to do this work for other people. So they're more than likely going to be doing what they need to make sure that their space is cleared and that they are providing the messages the way that you need to hear them, and that they're not inviting entities or beings to provide messages to you that are not there for your best and highest good. That's the most important thing. You want to make sure that you don't know who is giving you a message. Sometimes they don't have your best and highest good at heart. And if there are people out here who are only about trying to get money and get paid to do readings and stuff for you, their intentions already are a little questionable. So what level of integrity are they going to have when they're doing this stuff for you, if their first and foremost thought is, how can I hustle you out of a couple of dollars? Not to say they shouldn't get paid for their work. Now, that is not what I said. They absolutely should get paid for their work. But if their sole motivation is to get paid, you gotta be, they ain't think about you. They think about your money. So they're not going to question when they have this spirit around them giving you some sort of crazy sounding message that don't feel right to them. Here you go. Good luck. Here you go. Good luck. Hope that helps. Oh, well, may not. Up next. Who's next? Make sure you give me my money before you look, if that's their sole motivation, it's not going to go well for you. So you want to make sure that people are doing this work because they're called to do this work. Their motivation is to be helpful to people. Their motivation is to serve. Yes, they should get paid. Yes, they should have, some motivation to also get paid because they got to survive. They got to pay for the things in order to protect themselves and you and get the books and learn and all the rest of that stuff. But that should not be the first motivation. And you can tell when somebody's motivation is solely to get money. They don't give a damn about your feelings at all. Hey, Kima. Yeah, so I'm just, look, absolutely, Jessica, balance. Yes, you can get paid, but have some integrity about you. Know that this work is very serious. Know that the people who do this, who've been doing this for a while, who it matters to, it is very important to make sure that they are just not letting any old whatever in their space. Because some of y'all are crazy too. Some of y'all got some shit with you. Some of y'all a little crazy. And they gotta read, go into your energy with all your craziness. We also are exposing ourselves to you, which is why those of us who do this, no matter what, know that we have to do certain things to protect ourselves prior to, during, and after. Hey, Jazzy Jasmine. Yes, my people are here. So you just can't be entrusting your space and your energy to any old body. So do your due diligence. I know it is sexy. Hey, Yvonne. I know it's real sexy to get these readings out here. Get them. You know, they're wonderful. Even those of us who do this work, who've been doing this for a while, like, I still, like, somebody doing the live read. Look, where do I sign the fuck up? Sometimes I gotta stop myself. Like, look, you don't know them. You can't just be letting anybody in your energy. You just can't be letting anybody read for you. I'm like, yeah, you right. Slow down. So, for those of you who are new, just saying, it's real out here in these streets, and just make sure that you're doing as much as you possibly can to get as much information prior to telling somebody, I am trusting you implicitly, arms wide open to my energy space. Like, you don't want to get hemmed up by some of these people out here who don't know what the hell that they're doing, who are exposing themselves and you to danger, whose motivation is solely money, who don't have any level of integrity, letting anybody talk to you about and telling you things that are putting you in danger and in jeopardy and can harm you, like physically or otherwise. You don't want no trouble out here. So before you let, Sarah TikTok, who just went live on TikTok to pull some cards for you, you be careful out here in these streets. You be careful. Does anybody have any questions before I roll up off of here? I want to do another live where I talk to some people who are new in the space to actually giving readings, because there's the veil is thinning, stuff is happening. People got time now. People are trying to discover themselves, learn more about themselves, increase their skills in all the things. And for those of you who are new, we all start off as being new, but if there's a way that I could kind of help you with the learning curve about how to be safe, then I definitely want to talk about it. So anyway, if anybody has no more questions, thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for those of you who watch later. If you watch, definitely put replay in the comments, and I'm going to upload this to YouTube. So if you watch there, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also feel free to write a comment and share. Absolutely love your energy. Thank you so much, Yvonne. Be careful who you read for too. Yes, if their energy doesn't feel right, you got to be careful. Exactly. And so that's exactly why I'm going to do another video to talk to people about who are new to this reading space. Because, when you first start off, you want to read for everybody. You want all the smoke. You want all the practice. And you're going to learn today. So that's another video. There's another video entirely. I won't get going. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye.